Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Just Start the Book. I am Jess, and for today's daily vlog, we are going to start plotting my new book. Okay, guys, so I know that originally when I first started these videos, I had been saying that after finishing The Hollow Crown, I was going to focus on some of the other supposed short stories that I have. That was before I remember that I had signed up for this 24-hour novel challenge that CK Jensen is participating in. I don't know if they're actually hosting it or not, but they're participating in it, and they announced it in the Discord, and I signed up to do a sprint on Saturday morning. I'd completely forgotten about it up until this week. So this challenge is kind of crazy, honestly, and I think I talked about this a little bit in one of the earlier videos this week, but I could talk to CK yesterday and basically confirm that what it is the challenge will run from tomorrow, Friday the 20th, through Sunday the 22nd. So 3 days. You are trying to write a total of 24 hours during those 3 days, and also 50,000 words within those 3 days. So 24 hours, 50,000 words. There's basically no way that is going to happen. I've gone through most nanos and not been able to write 50k words in a month, let alone 3 days. But I figured, you know what, it's a challenge. It'll be fun. It'll be a good way for me to get my Little Mermaid retelling kind of kickstarted and going. So I know I talked before about discovery writing it, and I think I am still going to kind of do that. But I think if I want to have any semblance of a chance of doing this challenge, and if I want to do marginally well, then I need to have some idea of what I'm doing. So I think I'm going to kind of plant this one and do a little bit of plotting, and then just kind of pants the rest of it. I think I want to have like a basic outline, or just like the bare minimum, like stepping stones, so that I have a general idea that I'm going to be writing, and so that I don't spend time this weekend having to like brainstorm. And well, I mean, I'm still gonna have to brainstorm, but like, so that I don't spend time this weekend unsure, or like not knowing where to go or what exactly to write. And if at any point things kind of take a turn or branch off in a direction that I wasn't expecting, or that I don't have on this like loose outline, then that's fine, and I'll just run with it. But I think it'll be better if I have some kind of an idea of what I'm doing. And like I said, just like a kind of basic, like, bird's eye map of the direction I want to go. So today's vlog is going to be all about creating that little roadmap for myself. So I am at work. Obviously, you can see I'm in my office. I do have a bunch of stuff that I need to do for work. I'm trying to get as much stuff done today as I can, so that tomorrow, my birthday, I can leave work a little bit earlier. So the next few videos, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, will be all about the 24-hour novel challenge. And so today we're going to be plotting and outlining, like I said. Tomorrow will be day 1. We'll see how many words I can get written. Saturday will be day 2. Same thing. See how many words I can get written. Sunday, same thing. So I think this actually fits kind of perfectly into my daily vlogs, which is awesome. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, well, I already made a to-do list for myself for work for the day. I do want to do a little bit of editing and continue like reading Twisted Loyalties. So I'm still going to do a little bit of that today. But I think the first thing that I'm going to do is go into Sarah Cannon's her like Heart Breathings like library that she has, where she has all of the different documents that she's made over the years, because I know she has a plotting and outlining like workbook in there. But I don't think I want the whole thing, because I think using the whole thing is doing a little bit too much. I don't want to plot that much. But I think I might sort through it and see if she has something that I can use to create just like a basic like outline and timeline, like I said. So I'm gonna look at that, see if I see something that'll kind of fit what I'm looking for. If not, then I may actually just like write it all out. Maybe I'll just end up doing it and dabble. We'll see. So I'm gonna see if Sarah has anything in her resource library that I want to use that fits kind of what I'm looking for. If not, then I'll just end up like writing it all out or putting it in dabble. So yeah. Also, I did kind of spend my drive in this morning brainstorming a little bit. I already had a basic idea of what I wanted this story to be about, but I honestly hadn't like plotted, like how I get from point A to point B. So that is kind of what I was noodling around this morning on my drive into work, and just the different scenes that I know that I want to have in this book, and how I'm connecting it to the Hollow Crown and to the rest of the series, and the different beats and all the things. So I did do some brainstorming on my way in this morning. I took some like voice notes so that I wouldn't forget all of the things that I had thought about. I hope you guys enjoy getting to see these first little tidbits about the new book, and get to see, the beginnings of, the process for a new book and starting the cycle all over again, which is actually kind of exciting. Honestly, I think like plotting and outlining, even if I'm not doing a lot of it, is kind of my favorite part. So I'm excited to jump into doing that again and into the second book of the Forgotten Kingdom series. So yeah, let's dive right into today's video. Okay guys, it is several hours later now. It is just about 4 o'clock. So I obviously had a lot of work to do, and I didn't get to focus on my plotting and everything until later on. I started just about an hour ago, around 3 p.m. But I did it. I plotted out the whole of this book. This is all very kind of fluid. I don't want to get stuck and think that this is all like rigid and has to be how it is. This is just my initial game plan, and things may end up being moved around and shifted as I write and as things come up and I change things and all that. I have a general idea of the different like beats and plot points and of the general like order I want things to happen in. But again, as I start to write, if I get new ideas or the story kind of branches out on its own or the characters take me in a direction I wasn't expecting, then I will just kind of go along with that and see what comes of it. Well, I ended up using the outline that Ari has on her video. I used this outline when I started writing my second chance romance at the end of last year, and it was really helpful, so I decided to go ahead and use that. I will link her video down below where she shows that. The outlining spreadsheet it has a lot of detail, but it's a little minimal as far as like the beats, so it kind of has it has like the first plot point, the first pinch point, but it doesn't really break it down, like for example the way that Save the Cat does, like because I didn't really want to get fully into that. Like I said, I really want to try to discovery write this as much as I can. What I'm doing for the Hollow Crown is after my read through and I make any edits that I need to, like minor edits that I need to, do any research that I need to, finish writing any scenes I need to, then I'm going to look at Save the Cat and look at all of the beats and kind of then make sure that I'm hitting all the beats, that I'm not missing anything. Then I'll kind of worry about that kind of thing. So I think I'm going to try to do the same thing with this book. So yeah, I was able to get everything down on paper from beginning to end. Like I said, I know that more likely it's probably not going to all stay this way, but at least this way I have an idea when it comes to writing. So the way that Ari's spreadsheet is broken down is that it has chapters, but then it also has scenes to break down each chapter, like each scene or all of the scenes within each chapter. I tend to write very short chapters. I like books that have short chapters, so I tend to write that way. So it could be that each of these scenes, if they're longer, ends up becoming its own chapter. So right now there are 49 scenes in the outline. So we'll see if that ends up being 49 chapters, if that's what it equates to. Could end up being more, could end up being less, just depending on how much I end up writing. As I was writing this out, I started to notice that because of the characters that I have in this story, and the way that I want things to play out in the like larger plot line of the series, that it might make more sense for the Frozen book to be the second book in the series, and then this would be the third, just because of the way they're connected. But I don't feel as drawn to write the Frozen story as I do to write this one. I'm very excited to get started on this one. So I think I'm still going to write this one first, and then I'll go back and write the Frozen one eventually, and then kind of slot it in if I have to. I don't feel like I necessarily have to write them in the specific order that they're going to end up being like published in. We'll see if that ends up being messier later or makes it harder later. But right now, this is the one that I feel kind of called to write. So I'm going to stick with that. So unfortunately, I can't really show you guys much because I obviously don't want to give spoilers away. As I start writing over the weekend, I might talk through some points in like the overall plot of the book, but I don't want to go into too much detail. And this weekend is probably going to be super busy between my birthday and the challenge and getting these vlogs up and edited and everything. So I don't want these to be too super long, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you are excited to find out more about this book, to come along with me as I attempt this 24-hour novel challenge. I will link anybody else who I know is having streams this weekend. I will link them down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow.